Hey, it's Mike, All Things Lost. Oh, hi there and such. Wow, what a lovely scene. A lush countryside, a single car gently moving across a winding road near this beautiful, untouched forest on a clear, sunny day. It would be a real shame if something were to, I don't know, destroy your childlike sense of trust in the world, scarring you for life. This is the K-Fee coffee commercial. It's just one in a series of German commercials made in the mid-2000s promoting a brand of canned coffee. The car variation is probably the most popular and would become one of the first screamers to go viral in the early days of YouTube. Real YouTube season 1 kind of stuff. And there are a bunch of versions of this. They even have a funny version of the commercial for their less caffeinated coffee. These screamers were basically a bait and switch, similar to a Rickroll, but instead of a catchy 80s pop song, you're faced with the reality that the internet is not a safe place. And it used to be flooded with this type of content. You might remember classics like The Maze, What's Wrong with This Picture, Britney Spears' Hidden Message, and so many more. And all of these classic screamers can be experienced right now as they existed in the mid-2000s. Except one of the earliest of its kind. A video linked to gaming's most enduring and beloved urban legend. A case that's among the lost media community's largest search efforts in history that is still, to this day, unsolved. The search for Mario 64, Big Star Secret. If a jump scare isn't enough to convince you that the internet can be a scary place, well, wait until you hear about data brokers from today's sponsor, Aura. Have you ever wondered how scammers and spammers get your phone number or email address? Well, they do so through data brokers, companies that make millions selling your data to marketers, scammers, and all kinds of nefarious individuals. The law requires that they remove your information if you ask, but the process is made as difficult and confusing as possible. That's where Aura comes in. They take care of the hard part, automatically removing your information from these sites, and more importantly, keeping it off, making sure you're protected while helping you take the power back from companies that are selling your data for profit. And that is just the beginning of the protection Aura has to offer. It seems like every week there's news of a new massive data breach, leaving millions exposed to identity theft and so much more. But Aura has you covered with real-time fraud alerts, a VPN, around-the-clock US-based support, notifications if your information's found on the dark web, and if anything does happen, Aura includes $5 million in identity theft insurance protection. All that and more is why I choose Aura, and you can try Aura free for 14 days by visiting aura.com/allthingslost. In those 2 weeks, you'll discover where your data is being exposed and sold. I'm not leaving myself vulnerable, and neither should you. Again, that's aura.com/allthingslost to try Aura free for 14 days. The story of Big Star Secret starts long before the video was uploaded, going back nearly a decade before YouTube itself was created, in 1996 with the release of Super Mario 64. This game was the biggest thing in the world at the time, a launch title for the Nintendo 64, Mario's first foray into 3D, and what's gone down as one of the greatest games of all time. Games from this era were becoming exponentially more complex, right at the same time as the internet was growing in popularity, allowing schoolyard rumors to make their way online, creating this beautiful storm of outrageous misinformation that kids had no reason to doubt. All the biggest games had their legends. There were the Poke Gods, Reviving Aerith, the Sky Temple, Nude Raider, the Secret Cow level, but there's one legend that stood out above the rest. Unlocking Luigi in Mario 64, better known as L is Real 2401, a name derived from the illegible inscription on the courtyard's star statue. When it comes to the other urban legends, these ones were wishful thinking. Of course we wanted more Pokemon, of course we wanted more dungeons in Zelda, and we wanted to see them triangles. But Luigi was more than that. We had played as Luigi in every mainline Mario title. Luigi was a precedent. We know now that Luigi was not present in Mario 64. He was cut late into development, scrubbed from the game, and this statue probably doesn't say L is real. But as soon as YouTube became available, users began uploading fake videos on how to unlock Luigi. They usually involved playing the game on the second save file, collecting all the stars, all the coins, anything that wastes a lot of your time. But they always ended up in one place, in the castle courtyard, at the mysterious star statue, where the legend of L is Real 2401 began. Some videos tried to convince you that Luigi was actually playable so you'd go try it yourself. Others would give away the joke at the end. But one man synthesized two popular trends: the classic Luigi hoax and the coffee jump scare. In 2007, Lotus Man 17 posted Super Mario 64 Big Star Secret, a video explaining how to access Luigi in Mario 64, but of course just before the big reveal, ends with a jump scare. Big Star Secret was fairly popular in early YouTube. It was shared across forums, and people made videos tricking their friends into watching it. There was even another popular screamer at the time called Scary Mario Commercial that seems to be riffing on Big Star Secret. It even has the same jump scare at the end. But over time, just like so many things on the internet, it began to fade away. YouTube grew bigger than anyone could have imagined, and Super Mario 64 Big Star Secret was just another piece of nostalgia. Until one day, it was gone. And it wouldn't be until a decade later that people began to realize something was off. Mario 64 Big Star Secret was missing. Fast forward to August 24th, 2020, Cam Wardlaw, also known as Mavel, released his video, The Hunt for a Jump Scare, prologue. In it, Mavel details his experience with this classic screamer, the revelation that it was gone, and his initial hunt to find it. Though others had discussed the lost screamer, it was Mavel's video that started the search, and by September, the Lost Media Wiki created their On the Hunt series, highlighting ongoing searches for lost media, and their inaugural topic was the search for Big Star Secret. So here's what people remembered. The video was about 5 minutes, in terrible quality, seemingly recorded with a camera pointed at a monitor, causing the whole thing to be tinted blue or green. It begins with a movie maker text intro saying something along the lines of, "You must enter the new dimension." Then cuts to Mario, who is taller than normal with a different color palette, outside the castle that has some unusual textures. Mario enters the castle lobby and another text screen shows up saying something like, "You have entered the new dimension." Some remember the lobby having an extra door in it, and Mario talking to Toad, and Toad saying something kind of funny like, "Oh fuck, it's Mario." Some people remember parts of the video taking place in Bob-Omb Battlefield, but of course the video moves to the famous courtyard. And the hallway leading up to it is somehow glitchy. In the courtyard, you're told to kill every boo, or maybe kick a boo, then run around the fountain a specific number of times, and read the plaque on the star statue. Mario then walks to the wall behind the fountain. As he approaches, the music gets quiet. Text appears saying press A on the wall. The words "and then" appear at the bottom left of the screen, followed immediately by the coffee jump scare. The screen then cuts to black while scrolling text appears saying something along the lines of "gotcha," ending with credits on what was used to make the video. The music used throughout was a major point of contention among people who remembered it. Some saying that it was Bring Me to Life by Evanescence, which, yeah, if you were around YouTube this time, basically every video had Evanescence or Linkin Park in it. But others say the music was Skillet or even 009 Sound System, whose music was widely used on YouTube at the time. But what people did agree on is that the music changes after the jump scare, and it was something from the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack. Just days into the Lost Media Wiki getting involved, the first major discovery was made. Using the Wayback Machine, someone found the link to the original video. The page gives us some important information, confirms the poster's name, Lotus Man 17, the date the video was posted, its rating, which I guess YouTube used to have a star rating system. I don't remember that at all. And perhaps most importantly, another thing I don't remember about early YouTube, the commentary tab that included video responses where you can see a link to another video. And unlike Big Star Secret, this video is still public today.
What's happening here?
Now, in my opinion, this video is one of the most unusual in all of Lost Media. It shows a kid tricking his brother into watching Super Mario 64 Big Star Secret, but the video was edited, only showing the first 8 seconds, then cutting to the final 20 seconds. So we have this lost YouTube video, known for its low quality, playing in the back of another pretty low quality video from the same era. I can think of very few cases with found lost media being in such poor quality that it's like we hardly found it at all. And there might be no other case where finding such terrible footage would be so amazing. This was incredible. The first video of Big Star Secret. Unfortunately, the account that posted the video, Greedy Devastator 808, had not been active on the account for years. And with no way to contact him, the lead was a dead end. Now that we had the name Lotus Man 17, we could start trying to get in touch with him. Many tried, but it was the legend himself, founder of the Lost Media Wiki, Kate, who got a response. And to get the big question right out of the way, no, Lotus Man did not have the video anymore. It's long gone. He even contacted YouTube to see if they could help recover it, to no luck. But Lotus was able to give us some insight on his lost video. Big Star Secret was edited with Windows Movie Maker 2. Mario 64 was being played on a PC running Windows XP through an emulator, probably Project 64. The game was modified using the level editor Toadstool 64, changing Mario's color palette, adding an extra door to the castle lobby, and using a black texture he made himself in MS Paint for the castle's brick. Footage was recorded off a monitor with what he believes was a Motorola Razr V3. And Lotus Man clarified that at no point did the video enter Bob-Omb Battlefield. He also cleared up the confusion with the music. Evanescence was never part of the soundtrack. Instead, Skillet's Whisper in the Dark was initially used. But in 2009, the audio was muted by the band's label. And YouTube has this function that lets you swap out music. And Lotus says he was paid $40 by 009 Sound System to swap out the muted audio for the song database. Personally, I kind of think Lotus Man might be misremembering this. 009 Sound System was insanely popular on YouTube at this time. YouTube's audio swap was organized alphabetically, so 009 was the very first result, leading to this song database to become one of the unofficial anthems of early YouTube. Like, you could not escape this song. So I don't think he was going around paying people to use his song, but maybe he was. Maybe this is part of why his music was so commonly used. I don't know. Lotus also said he doesn't remember why he deleted the video, but through some digging, you can make an educated guess. The video's description initially said, "Title says it all," but through a 2011 Facebook page, but we can see that the description was changed at some point to say, "This video was done out of complete boredom, and yet people still wish to leave hateful comments, therefore commenting has been disabled." This leads us to believe that the video was eventually taken down by Lotus due to the backlash. He even remembers getting death threats over it. All of these discoveries were made more or less immediately when the wider lost media community got involved. But after a month or so of searching, that was really it. There were no more leads to go off of. And in the following years, there were no updates. We would have to wait over 3 years for anything to happen. In early October 2023, a new image of the lost video was discovered in an insane way. Someone involved in the search had an old camera they bought in mid-2005, and inside they found a photo of the elusive screamer, seemingly taken in early 2010 based on the YouTube overlay and the number of views. And it wasn't long after the photo emerged that a new clip of Big Star Secret was uncovered. And if you didn't guess it, both of these were fake. Every great lost media search has a hoax or two. They are incredibly annoying. They really just make the whole process more difficult. Like, I cannot tell you how many emails I've gotten about found lost media, and it's just another long debunked hoax. Though I obviously can't prove it, I believe in this case, these two hoaxes completely reinvigorated the search. Just days after these two hoaxes, Inspect Element made a post on the Lost Media Wiki forums following a possible lead on the Big Star Secret. Back in January of 2023, Reddit user JasonY95 made a post claiming he had 500 plus terabytes of data from early YouTube. Even though most of the data he had concerned music and documentaries, Inspect Element and his friends contacted JasonY95 to see if maybe he had Big Star Secret among these terabytes of data. Jason replied saying, "I think you actually might be in luck. I'm pretty certain I had downloaded this video to prove it to a friend of mine. Now, I remember I had just built my first computer, so it would be on an old 250 gigabyte disk, which isn't part of my archive, but I do know where it is physically." He would later add, "I'll get back to you on this one soonish. The disk is still at my parents'." JasonY95 would join a Discord server along with other members of the Big Star Secret search. But over time, Jason became irritated with the constant questioning. This all came to a head in late November of 2023, when some random guy on the Discord server raided it, filling the chat with non-stop spam and insults. And it led Jason to leaving the Discord server and blocking everyone. He's since been contacted, but it seems like the lead might be another dead end. And in hindsight, it really was a long shot. In 2012, when Big Star Secret was deleted, YouTube was nearing 100 petabytes worth of video on the platform. So 500 terabytes of data is insane for this time. It was still only 0.5% of the total content on YouTube. Around the same time this was all going down, something unexpected happened. Greedy Devastator 808, the guy who had posted the reaction video to Big Star Secret, was back online. He randomly posted a new video on his account for the first time in 15 years. And we hope this meant he was going to be responding to comments from his reaction video, but he never did, which was really disappointing. The likelihood of him having the screamer was low, but man, a yes or no would have been nice. After these disheartening turn of events, the search would once again die down before taking an unexpected turn. In the final days of May 2024, Mavel, Sindexmon, and Charmy the Chatty Binksa got in contact with a YouTube channel who had uploaded a now privated reaction to Big Star Secret. They were initially hesitant to give away their reaction video over privacy concerns, but the trio convinced them to blur out parts of the video, leading us to get another 38-second clip of Super Mario 64 Big Star Secret. And yeah, it's blurry, it's pixelated, it's partially obscured, and didn't give us too much new footage. But man, was this special. This was the first time in 4 years of searching that we can see the thumbnail in motion. This was surreal. One way it might be found was suggested by Sindexmon, who discovered that if you're watching a video on Flash Player and you shut your computer off, the video will still be in the temporary folder of Adobe Flash, meaning that if someone got so scared by the screamer that they shut their laptop off, they might have inadvertently saved this video. But almost a year to the date that we made our last discovery, something unbelievable happened. The biggest discovery of the entire search. On May 13th, 2025, Lost Media Wiki Discord user, Peter, using the same method Syndex proposed, found in his old computer's temp files the first 47 seconds of Big Star Secret. Not only giving us our first video in viewable quality, but showing us that the thumbnail image comes from the first few seconds of the video, rather than minutes into the video as was previously assumed. Such an insane discovery, but to this day, that is it. That's all we have of this video. What should have been an easy win, finding a popular video from the early days of YouTube, has proven to be one of the largest searches in the history of lost media, one that is still unresolved to this day. Before making this video, I was under the assumption that Big Star Secret might be unfindable. If we haven't found it by now, it's just lost. But after poring over everything, I believe someone has to have it. There is no way this video is lost forever. Someone has to have it. Someone has to have Super Mario 64 Big Star Secret. Thanks for watching. Shout out to everyone who supports me on Patreon, including Miss Dana, Vinny Cataldo, and Can You Say Rocco Mafleur. As always, please leave your suggestions for future videos. This is Mike with All Things Lost. I'll see you soon.